Hi folks, welcome to the Underground Health Club. I'm so excited to be here. We are going into our second season. Glad to be back in Albuquerque. And I just want to thank everyone in ProView Networks for all that they do. And I want to thank our sponsor, MuscleGoat Protein. Yep, the cleanest and freshest protein on the planet. No cows on the property, and the goats are actually fed apple cider vinegar. So I got the best protein, and we're going to talk about that later in the show. But MuscleGoat.com, thank you for being our great sponsor. And let me kind of put this off to the side. And we have a guest today that, as far as I'm concerned, is the best rehab doctor, not in Albuquerque, New Mexico, not in the United States, on the face of the earth, without a doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Beau Hightower. Beau, welcome to the Underground Health Club.
Glad to be back, my friend.
Yes, you've been here before.
I've been here before. I'm excited for season 2, episode 1.
Yes.
Glad that we've got the show rolling again, and I'm excited to see what other guests you have coming on, what more knowledge that I can gain from you and your wonderful guests.
Thank you so much, Beau. So it's very interesting that you as a health professional have seen a lot of things out there. And I guess my first question is, why do so many things don't work? That's the question.
Why don't they work?
Yes.
So I think that goes back to the art of medicine, and I think what we have to think about is there's a lot of specificity, and individuals are very unique in what's wrong with them. And unfortunately, the way that Western medicine is designed, it's very algorithmic. It wants protocols. We like the term diagnosis.
Right.
So we want things that check the box. And when we do that, we put a label on somebody. And when we label them, then there's a very specific treatment oriented with it. But as we know, pathophysiology spans a lot of different things, and there's a lot of variables that go into it. And so when you categorize somebody with a very specific diagnosis, whether it's fibromyalgia or whatever else you want to diagnose them with, then we're stuck in a treatment mode, and whether that is a prescription medication, which of course is warranted sometimes, or a form of physical therapy, oftentimes what happens is we don't start to modify those things as we find that they're not working. So we're not adapting on the fly as healthcare professionals. We get locked into a very specific way of thinking.
It's very interesting because I've had a lot of injuries myself as an athlete, and I've been told certain things that I have to do and certain things I can't do. And you've always said something that I thought was great. You always said, Joe, you're not, and that the MRIs are huge. They do solve, well, not solve, but they help you to see what's going on, what's wrong. But why are you not always your MRI?
Well, I think we've talked about this in the past, is when we're trying to understand, this is more philosophical, the nature of reality. What's true and what isn't? Is it a democratic process? If 50 people tell me the sky is purple, do I agree that it's purple? So when we're trying to find truth, we're trying to find factors that lead us into that truth. And we've talked about this in the past. Like, I've never been to Australia. So how do I know Australia exists if I've never been there? Well, I know people from Australia.
I lived there before.
You've lived there, so I take your word for it. You're somebody that's credentialed, that I trust.
Yeah.
I could call somebody in Australia right now. I've seen maps of it. So I have a bunch of other factors that help point me to triangulation that I can say with a relative amount of certainty that Australia exists.
Right.
And when we're looking at a human body, it's kind of the same thing. So what does your MRI say? Well, that's one component, just like orthopedic testing, just like neurological testing, just like a history, just like and when we say history, like how did it happen? Was there actually an injury? And then we try to correlate those things together to give us the most accurate possible answer.
That makes sense. So I know, like myself, I'm 52 years young, because I'm not old,
Right.
Okay. And you've seen my MRIs, you've seen a number of them for
Yep.
me. And when I originally met you, I showed you my MRIs of my knees, and both my knees, it says, bone on bone, I absolutely need 1, if not 2 knee replacements. And I walk around today with no knee pain.
Yeah. You can jump up and down, right? I've seen you do
I can.
that.
I'm going to do it actually later.
He's going to do it. He's going to show off.
Yeah, I'm going to show off. So I guess the point is how can I do that if the MRI says I can't?
Well, the MRI doesn't say you can't. It just says so there's something abnormal. What happens is the person that interprets the MRI is the one that says that you can't. And
Right.
what we kind of know through the research out there is there's not a lot of correlation between pain, dysfunction, and what's on an MRI. And some of that's variable, right? Like, so if I have, like, say, maybe a little bit of a labral tear, there's not any necessarily strong evidence that says that that's going to cause pain. So function is a different animal.
Right.
So for example, if I have like a torn UCL and I'm a pitcher, it doesn't matter how tough that I am, I can't generate the force because that ligament doesn't hold me together.
Right.
Now, if it's just tendonitis or if I just have back pain, then it's more of just a pain issue. So those things are sort of different. So like for my fingers, for example, right? I can push there. I've got good ligament stability. When I push that one, it just goes
Right.
all the way back. Well, why? Because there's no ligament there.
Right.
So that means when I push on things like that, the finger's going to hyperextend, but there's no pain associated with that. But if you took an MRI, that ligament is torn. So does that mean that I can't use my finger or that it should cause me pain? Well, not necessarily.
That makes complete sense. I mean, it really does. So Beau, in your practice, I mean, and you have a thriving practice. I've been blessed that you have saved me about 2 or 3 surgeries.
I think we're at 2 or 3 at this point.
Yeah. And I remember when I tore my left shoulder, because I fell in a playground situation.
Sure.
There were 3 partial tears. Now, if they were complete tears, I believe I would have needed surgery.
Right.
But there were
possibly, but yeah.
Yeah, and my arm was locked, and we worked and we worked and we worked, and my arm is 100% fully functioning.
That's right.
And the muscle came back, but it's no quick fix.
Right.
That's the key.
Right, and it's a less quick fix, as we age too, because we don't have as much testosterone, we don't have as much IGF-1. I always joke when we get a 14-year-old that comes in, one session you're pretty much fixed.
Right.
It's amazing what a brand new body can do when it hasn't accumulated wear and tear. But it takes some perseverance as we age, and it's just like anything else with your health. It takes repetitive motions of doing the right things, eating the right foods every single day, getting exercise every single day. And when we have an injury like that, and you're 42 or 52 or 62, it's going to take more work than it will for a 22-year-old. So you have to be mentally strong enough to dedicate yourself to the process, to do your rehab exercises, and to buy in and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to give up, and just start cutting things open.
Yeah, but most of society goes the other way.
Right, and that has to do with cultural authority, like we said. Western medicine holds cultural authority in our society, and the truth is that nobody has a monopoly on science.
Right.
And there is some scientific evidence for Western medicine and some that is for alternatives as well. And I think finding the right mesh of those things is what gives people the best possible outcome.
How many times have people come to your office like me where the medical stuff didn't work?
I mean, all the time, every day.
Right.
30, 40 surgeries a month, or where somebody's been recommended for it, and we fix it.
Right.
Because quite simply, when you only have 10 minutes, you don't have a lot of other tools in your toolkit. We've discussed this before. I mean, you kind of select your healthcare by going wherever you go. If you go to your family doctor, you're pretty sure you're going to get ibuprofen and maybe some muscle relaxers. They'll tell you to rest. You go to the physical therapist, they're going to tell you you're imbalanced, your core is weak. You've got to work on that. If you go to the massage therapist, your trigger points are all holding tension in your neck.
Right.
The chiropractor tells you your bones are out of place. The
Right.
surgeon tells you there's something structurally wrong that needs to be corrected. Well, why? Because their frame of reference is through the lens at which they look.
Right.
And that they can't help it. They're a byproduct of their upbringing or their education. If I was born in Saudi Arabia, what are the odds that I would be, I don't know, Baha'i or Christian? I'm
Right.
probably going to be Muslim. If you're born in America, what are the odds that you just will magically learn French? You're probably going to speak English.
Right.
So we are a byproduct of our environment, and that's why developing habits is really important as well. Because if you grow up in a society that thinks of your body as like a car and you just replace the parts, well, living tissue doesn't work that way. It takes effort, it takes time. You have to eat the right foods, you have to exercise, you have to get the right supplementation. Which, by the way, Power Pack, that's one of my favorite supplements, one of the cleanest, best supplements you can get out there. So thank you, Dr. Joe, for hooking me up with that.
Thank you. In fact, here it is, Beau.
Power Pack right there.
Show that to him.
That's the good stuff, actually. I don't take many supplements. That one is one I don't miss.
The probiotics and digestive enzymes.
Yeah, all of
good
it, man. And I'm a skeptical person, right? I'm very skeptical of everything, but I'll try everything too. I'm open to novel ideas. And so I've tested taking it, not taking it, and I do so much better when I take Power Pack 3. So yeah, thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Beau. I appreciate it. So anyway, I think we got to go to a commercial right now. They're waiting for us, so we got to go.
Power Pack commercial?
That would be great too. But now we're going to go to commercial. Will you be back?
I will be back. You're
going to bring some of your little tools you got here to help us?
I've got some tools that I think the people might want to see.
Okay. Folks, we'll be back in about a minute or two. Thank you.
Geckos Bar and Tappets, a proud supporter of ProView Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but 2 great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Geckos, off Academy and in Nob Hill. Car Crafters, a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, folks, welcome back. We're back from our commercial, and Beau's still here. Beau knows. You've heard that a time or a million.
Well, hello. Well, hello. So I wanted to bring up a point. So we always talk about dichotomies when we're at the office, and I think it's really interesting that just because something is the opposite of something that we think is a problem, that doesn't make it right. You know, just because Republicans have a problem doesn't mean that Democrats are right. There's nuance to everything. Just because there are problems with the pharmaceutical industry doesn't necessarily mean the supplement industry is automatically clean. And as we know, there isn't any regulation really to the industry. So it's important that you find a source of a supplement that is very clean, that has all the right ingredients, that isn't full of all kinds of artificial sweeteners and preservatives. Because with the terms proprietary blend, stuff that you go and buy in the store is usually a kind of a low quality, mass-produced product. And I think it's really important that if you're going to take a supplement, that you know a little bit about the person that's selling it, that you know a little bit about the process. And that's another reason why I support Power Pack 3. So.
Thank you. But in fact, my stuff is the only stuff I think is in your office that you allow.
It is. It is. That's the only supplement we allow in the office.
MuscleGoat and Power Pack 3.
And that's simply just because we've tried it and it works. And we have a saying at our office: if it works, it's right.
Yeah.
I don't need to know about the rest of it. As long as it works, it's right.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Beau.
No, thank you.
So anyway, a couple of things here I want to really get into. You you're a licensed chiropractor, naturopath. What do you have, 7 degrees now?
Naturopath, yeah. So I've got 6 degrees, and I'm slowly working on my 7th degree. So
that's okay.
Background in exercise science, biology, all that kind of stuff.
Now it's funny. I thought I was smart. I got 4+, but you're way ahead of me, and I'm much older than you.
Well, so hopefully I'll be double that up by the time I get to that degree. So,
but it's funny is people used to ask me this question when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to college and take more degrees because you hated the real world? My answer was yes and yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I didn't like the real world.
Right.
Now I have no choice. I have to be part of it.
There you go.
So, but because sometimes people hide behind academia.
Sure.
Okay. But I think academics is great, but isn't practical knowledge incredibly important? Yeah,
there's a balance there for sure, and we actually got into this a couple weeks ago. So me and Dr. Joe Sessions can go a long time because we talk a lot of philosophy and things like that. So one of the things we were talking about was the fundamental difference between scientists, aka epidemiologists, and public health officials and clinicians. They're designed to view the world through 2 different lenses. A public health official is supposed to look at the entire population. So if we drew a Gaussian distribution or a normal curve, they want to look right at the center and they want to take care of the most amount of people. But a clinician's job is to look at the individual and treat them as an individual and give them exactly what they need. And that's where the practical wisdom comes from. You don't learn that in school. You have no idea how to navigate that stuff until you get in the real world, until you deal with these types of ingredients, until you deal with patients that are sick. And and they call it the practice of medicine for a reason, because it takes practice. You don't know what you don't know, and until you start to work your way through cases and figure out why you can't fix it, then you have no fundamental practical knowledge.
So would you say people that do group health coaching or group therapy is probably not the right answer?
Yeah, I think that goes back to our point of individuality, and that comes back to even being an American, right? Like the sovereignty, like we look at every individual as somebody who's a unique person, and we want to treat them like that, not like everybody else. So anytime you're doing something that's built for the masses, it's probably not necessarily going to be a very good fit.
It's interesting because I've seen people like in the gym where I'll see a trainer training 4 people at once. They're all different body frames, all different injuries, and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't going to work.
It makes no sense, right? Like if I'm like, everybody's going to get a size 9 shoe, and I just start handing them out. Well, odds are that most people are not going to be able to wear that shoe.
Right.
Now that might be the most average shoe size. There are more people that wear size 9 than any other ones,
That's true.
but it's still a very small percentage of the population overall.
Yeah, that's very true. So it's interesting that the way you treat your clients and everything's individualized. And I do the same thing, like when I fly to somebody's house or they visit me or whatever, or with the consultation, everything has to be geared towards them, their personality. And that's a factor too. In other words, you have to know that person. I've been coming to your practice for a long time. You know my personality.
Sure.
If something doesn't work, we're going to fix it.
Right.
And I don't get frustrated because I know it's going to get fixed.
Right.
Because I have that belief in you.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's huge.
And if we can't find it, we're just like, okay, we don't know what it is yet. That doesn't mean that we're not there, that we won't find it. It's like this old saying they used to say, that a bumblebee couldn't fly because the math said that it couldn't.
Right.
Well, clearly it flies, so that just means that our math hasn't caught up yet. That doesn't
Right.
mean that it's impossible.
That's very true. So Beau, let me ask you, so at your place, you work with a lot of famous people, and I've always said this, logically, if a doctor, therapist, clinician, whatever you want to call yourself, which are all the above, can take a person that does MMA fighting and boxers, because you work with a lot of those two
Tons of them,
populations,
yeah.
even though you do baseball players like me and stuff,
Sure.
but you do a lot of boxers and MMA people.
Right.
Those people, when they do their sports, they get the you-know-what beat out of them,
Right.
literally.
Yeah.
So my logic was when I met you is, if this guy can take Holly Holmes, which is one of your patients, okay, and it's okay I said that?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I going to get kicked in the head?
I don't know. Be
Ollie,
careful in the parking lot.
please don't. I don't want to get. I see you in the parking lot. I don't want to get hurt.
Be careful.
I will be very careful. Anyway, or John Bones Jones. Okay.
Yeah, definitely be careful.
He could hurt me.
Definitely.
Okay. Anyway, if you can put these people's bodies back together, you don't learn that in physical therapy or chiropractic school.
Right.
My thought is, excuse me, logically is, imagine what you could do with the people like me.
Right. Magic.
That's why I think it's magic. And I used to own my own rehab practice in North Carolina, as you know.
Yep.
We had great practitioners there. I thought we did a great job. But compared to you, no.
Dang.
To me, you're a Rolls Royce. I have people around the country, my boys from Staten Island, they want to come visit.
Yeah.
Because they watch the videos of you and they're like, that's the guy. I said, that's right, that is the guy.
Awesome.
You know, and that the thing is but the only issue is, Beau, you've taught your practitioners to do a great job, but what you teach is hard to teach around the world.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and I refuse to do so. We could sell out in a minute and go do seminars and stuff like that, but I feel like it downgrades the product. And I want to spend 6 months training somebody who already has a doctoral education. Teach them how to think, how to process. You can't just give somebody a protocol and think that they're going to be worth the crap. I need to teach them how to think and how to work through problems, and that takes time.
Right, but that's going to happen. If you did a seminar and you had doctors and therapists there, they would learn some of your techniques.
And they might be a little bit better at some things, but I think they'll actually be a danger to the public because they don't know what they don't know.
I think you're right. So they're not you.
Right.
So, and now reality was you have a lot of different practitioners. I've always said, because you go to Vegas sometimes.
Sure.
I wish you guys would come east sometimes in the summer.
We're working on it.
Yeah, it's just, there's only so much time in the day.
Sure.
24
hours or so.
Yeah, and that's terrible they did that. We should have about 36. I think can we petition for that?
Elongate it, yeah. So if we're going to do that, we're going to get rid of daylight savings time and elongate the day to 36 hours. So by the way, make sure you guys tune in next week. John Bones Jones fighting for the belts. He's going to bring it back to Albuquerque. UFC 232. Carlos Condit, Ciara Baharuzada, John Jones representing Albuquerque. We've got the entire main card, and we're coming with some victories.
Nice, and you'll be there, of course.
I will be there, of course.
Right on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, helping those people.
Exactly.
So the people who work at your place. Let me see if I have all the names right now.
Oh man.
Let's see if I get this right. Dr. Charlie, fantastic, Charlie McDonald. Dr. Carlos,
there we go.
from New York.
You got two.
Greg from New York.
Greg from
He's
New
from
York.
upstate, though.
He's upstate.
We have Sean.
Okay, good.
Let's see, we have Maya, who puts up my nonsense.
Good.
But we have those organic cookies for her, right?
Right.
You
Well, I'm going to eat them first.
You can eat them. Maya, you heard that? I gave him the bone. He's going to eat your organic cookies.
Come on, man. Who else you got?
Let's see, and we have Char's assistant.
Who is? Ooh.
Am I losing my train of thought here? Help me out, please.
So we have Caleb Dean.
Yep,
and we have
Caleb.
Patrick Pacheco.
Oh, Patrick has
Forgot
worked
about
on me
Pat,
before.
yeah. Alicia Martinez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I getting old and forgetting people's names?
I wouldn't say that, but
I'm going to say it. And these people are so great. When you come to his practice, by the way, folks, you get rehab before your session with Dr. Beau. You get it after. So I would say the average person is there at least an hour.
Yeah.
At least, and it's bang for your buck, phenomenal. No other therapist does this. And I've been to other physical therapists in Albuquerque and around the world. Nobody does this.
Yeah.
Nobody does this.
Well, we say we take as much time as we need to, and sometimes we're running behind. But I think our patients, even if they have to wait, they appreciate that they get the same attention too.
Right, and all the people I've sent to you, I sent that lady Natalie, I sent Diana Vendresco, and they're loving it.
Yeah, good.
I mean, they're all making progress. That's important. So, speaking of progress, we have to go to a commercial right now. You gonna come back this time,
I'll
Beau?
catch you on the flip side.
Am I gonna get beaten on the next one?
You might get beaten on the next one.
I can take it. We'll see you in a minute. Thank you.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great selection of vehicles, the quality service department, and some of the best deals in the state. But most importantly, we found people prefer to buy trucks from people who actually drive trucks.
Tillery is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Locally owned and operated, located in Los Lunas, right off I-25, exit 203.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with ProView Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Wondering if you can afford the ring of her dreams? At Crown Jewels & Coin, we actually double the diamond for what you would pay at a chain store. Trade in your old jewelry towards GIA certified diamonds. Choose from a large selection of settings featuring Veragio. We can customize a design and offer no credit check 2-year interest-free financing. Get more than you ever thought possible here at Albuquerque's family jeweler for over 50 years. Crown Jewels & Coin, for all you treasure. 3248 San Mateo at Kruger's Corner.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car crafters, it's like it never happened.
It's hammer time. Nice.
Feel better?
Yeah, I do. Now, can we explain what this is? So, Beau, you just hammered me.
That's right. You got hammered.
I got hammered.
Getting hammered with Dr. Joe.
But
he doesn't drink alcohol, so.
No alcohol. So explain what this is. This is one of the procedures you guys do.
This?
At your facility.
Oh yeah. So this is the orthotherapy. So you can see that we screwed the top off, and then we use this little thing. It's filled with a very custom alloy, and then we use that to reposition bones with a hammer.
And you learn this in what school?
We learned this at the School of Hard Knocks.
There you go. And it's interesting that when I tell people about these kind of things, they're like, oh my goodness. And I have some of my physical therapy and chiropractic friends who work, let's say, at clinics that they don't own. They go, what he does is great, but we can't do it. We'll get in trouble.
Oh, really?
Why would they get in trouble?
I don't know. Why would they get in trouble?
I'm asking you. I don't know.
I'm asking you. I don't know.
I think there's a certain protocol I guess they have to follow because the medical establishment says you have to do certain things a certain way.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think instrument assisted manipulations within everybody's scope. Maybe it's the clinic owner. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just saying I wish they've said they'd like to learn this.
Sure.
But I guess they'd have to call you to do that.
Yeah, and I'm expensive.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Your rates are even higher than mine.
Yeah, much more expensive. If
Right.
somebody wanted to learn this, I mean, you'd have to at least have either a firstborn son or $5,000, one of the two.
Can't you take cash?
Yeah, I take cash. Yeah.
So now it's
Straight
funny.
cash only.
Now it's funny though that Dr. Carlos he's from the Bronx. Okay.
Well, he's from Miami. No, he's from Venezuela.
But he's lived in New York. In the
Yeah,
Bronx
he went to NYU.
Yeah.
He's a fancy guy like that.
Right. So, but now he's home. He researched you, and he says, "I want to do an internship with you." And a doctor of physical therapy working with you, and now you have two of them, Dr. Charlie McDonald as well, is
sure.
They found you because they wanted it bad enough. See, so when you said it's impossible to work with you, it's not.
Yeah.
He wanted it bad enough.
You got to buy in.
Right.
You got to put in the work.
Yeah. Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah.
But that's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted.
And now he knows all these techniques.
Yeah. Now he's fixing people all over the world, man. He's in Miami this week, fixing people. You know. Living the dream.
So I guess now is. So with this hammer thing, when you were banging on my shoulder, so let's kind of explain my injury here a little bit too. This is from years of baseball. I have a torn subscapularis.
Right.
The MRI showed it.
Sure.
Okay. So I guess in theory, I don't want to have surgery, Beau.
Right.
But in theory, could that happen?
It's possible.
And what would that do if I had surgery instead of this?
Well, it may limit your range of motion permanently. Who knows? We don't really know. But of course, we want to talk about our other types of homologous injections before we get to that point. Okay. So you may be looking at a PRP or a stem cell shot or something before you ever get to that point.
Right, which I am a big believer in PRP, which I do for my knees every year, as you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know they have the IV stem cells now?
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, fantastic. So the PRP and the stem cell stuff, I find for me works great, especially on my knees.
Right.
Now you asked me about jumping before, okay? Now, according to the MRIs, I'm over here, okay, but I'm not going to land on you because I don't want to get beat up. Okay. So if a person has bone on bone, and I don't want to trip on the wire here. If they have bone on bone, and the MRI says you need a double knee replacement, shouldn't this movement be painful?
Yes.
I didn't feel anything.
What?
Nothing.
Magic.
But no, shouldn't that hurt?
100%.
Right. I didn't feel anything.
Weird.
Now, when I was younger, I can't do it now. I used to be able to get over the rim. I could never dunk a basketball, but I can get over the rim. I can't touch the rim. I mean, I can't jump like I did when I was in my 20s.
What happened?
Age.
Ah.
Logically. But I'm blessed because of the work I do with you and stuff that there's no pain. And isn't that the most important thing we want to talk about, being pain-free?
Yeah, it's quality of life is the key, right?
Yeah.
Everything we do, you're not going to live forever. Nobody's going to live forever.
No.
But how do you make those years count? How do you make sure that they're quality? Well, that's by eating right, by living right, by being out of pain, by balancing your life and making sure that your emotions are centered and making sure that you're taking care of the people in your life. That's the key. That's the goal.
It is. So here's what I want you to do if you can, Beau. Please give the people your information so they can try to make an appointment. Now, can I ask this? If they email and say, oh, Dr. Joe sent me, hopefully that can help them get in.
Hopefully. So you better use that. But if you're going to use that, you're probably going to have to buy some MuscleGoat. Just saying.
Or Power Pack 3.
Or Power Pack 3, that's true. Okay. So yeah, you can find us at elite-osm.com. You can book appointments right there. Or look for us on YouTube. That works too. You can see our 52-year-old baseball player.
Who's that?
5 million views.
Oh, me, that's right.
One of our most popular characters on our channel.
That's great. So listen, I really, really appreciate it, Beau.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
I cannot thank you enough. And in the future, we want to get some of your practitioners on here.
I would love for them to be on here and tell you their story.
Really, it's amazing. Yeah, but they have to. We got to get them here.
We got to get them.
Yeah. So I appreciate you very much. Let me do one more thing here.
Thanks,
so
sir.
I can reach these things, which I obviously hold on. Beau, take over for a minute, please.
All right.
So we got to show what we got here.
Did you hear about the new Pirate movie? It's rated R.
Very funny. Okay. So folks. We mentioned our sponsor, MuscleGoat, and we have vanilla, we have chocolate, and we have strawberry. They all taste amazing, right? And you'll see them at your facility, different places around. If you reach out to me, I will make sure that we hook you up, as they say, okay? And again, folks, children, adults, seniors, my 81-year-old mother takes this stuff as well. This stuff will not be an issue. It'll pass any drug test, that's for sure, because we tested everything.
Yeah.
And it's from a goat, not a cow. So if you have any dairy issues, probably not an issue, because most people have cow issues, as you know, not goat issues.
Right.
So this is a great supplement to take. So we appreciate it again, folks. Thank you for being in the Underground Health Club, Beau.
Happy birthday to Dr. Joe's mom.
Yes, you're a rock star, Beau. Thanks for everything.
Thanks, sir.
And we'll see you again. And remember, your health is your wealth. Never, ever forget it.